speaking of WWE,
Yeah.
you see The Rock come back a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
On Raw. It's always that feel of the Rock. It's always I don't know, obviously a nostalgic feel, but like there's no one does it better. No one else gives you that goosebumps.
Especially when you hear when you hear it. Yes, oh, bro. Get up. No.
I get up. Bro, nobody does it better. Nobody does it better.
Oh.
Nobody does it better. But he's come back, and obviously there's for reasons, and I've seen him do a tour. He actually, let's talk. I sent it to you. He became a he's on a board of directors of TKO now. TKO being WWE and UFC.
And UFC.
He's on the board of directors now. This guy, he was just a Samoan wrestler.
He's Tongan, bro.
Sorry, Tongan. But,
No, you're Samoan. Far out, and man.
Now,
just gifted. Yeah.
Tongan lineage. Yeah. But now, on the board of directors, global mega Hollywood movie star, coming from his story of wanting to play football and never made it, $10 in his pocket, whatever it is. But now on the board of directors of the company that he, SmackDown is named after him. And it's just crazy. Isn't that crazy? A Pacific Islander?
Yeah, man. He's like trailblazer, man. I don't think there will be anyone. I don't think it can be repeated.
He's one of the biggest stars in the world on any stage.
Any stage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it'll ever be repeated. I don't think there'll be another Islander that can do or basically replicate what he's done.
It's crazy what he's done.
Yeah, man, it is. Like, he went from, like we said, not being able to, having a dream of making the NFL, and you hear him talk about it all the time, you know? And it's just like a lot of Islander kids, they always have that dream of becoming a professional athlete. And then, like, people can kind of argue, but his dad this and that, but it's like, nah, his dad tried to tell him not to wrestle, you know? His dad was telling him, no, you don't want to be a part of that business, son. Full punched on with his dad because he didn't want to, he basically gave away CFL, I'm pretty sure it was. That was his last one. It was Canadian one, yeah. And then, and to see somebody chase what every Islander, or majority of the Islander kids chase, that dream of becoming a professional athlete, to it not coming through, and then chasing something that was so unorthodox. Yeah,
and it wasn't like you made a lot of money in wrestling at that time.
At the time,
no way could he have envisioned, I'm going to be, like he had a dream and just kept going, catching each bus.
Every single one. Yeah.
And it's crazy what he's come to. And he's come back not only for a reason, when he comes back to Raw or SmackDown, whenever he comes back, he's going to be most likely in the biggest event, WrestleMania. And they're thinking, or, the script writers or fans think they're going to create the biggest one
ever,
or, this generation's Stone Cold versus Rock, or this generation's Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Do you remember when he did that? Now, they did The Rock versus John Cena like 10 years ago.
Even Undertaker too in WrestleMania,
But they're doing this year's one, which is, this generation's one, who is
Roman Reigns
versus The Rock. And they're cousins.
And they're going to be the main event at WrestleMania.
They're going to, I don't know if it'll be the main event. It's got to be the main event. It
has to be, bro. It's the biggest fight of the card.
And he's been champion for a long time.
Yeah.
And they've actually been able to push Roman Reigns to that level. It was hard for a while.
Yeah.
But then when they turned him heel, everything went good. 2 Samoans, 2 Pacific Islanders. At the biggest show, WrestleMania, and I think it's number 40. 10 years ago, I was at 30 when Undertaker lost.
Do you think that's why? It's because it's 40 and they need a big draw.
Really big.
And in another decade, they're not going to get another The Rock or another Stone Cold.
It'll be Roman Reigns versus whoever the guy
Whoever the new guy is. And if he's... Imagine if it's Daniel Vito. Do you ever remember Daniel Vito? He's the guy that came over there. I don't know what his wrestling name is. But
Yeah, what's that like? Pacific, you know, like a Samoan, Samoans.
Literally, like this little tiny, you know, tiny island in the Pacific, or made up of 2 islands. This little tiny country in the Pacific have 2 guys that are going to be wrestling.
Yeah.
Or fighting, whatever you want to call it. Wrestling.
Biggest entertainment company in the world.
In the world, because that WEG, that's who the UFC were first, and then now TKO, and then that's huge, man. It's iconic. Like literally, it's like probably a lot of people can't relate because they don't really watch wrestling. Like how we did. We grew up watching wrestling, you know. Like if you talk to like a few younger kids now, they'll just be like, "What wrestling? This and that." But like,
we grew up watch it anymore.
Not as much as we did,
because you got nephews and
kids, and I see them, and they're all just really Fortnite, all video games and stuff like that. But like the older generation can appreciate how crazy it is.
Yeah.
But man, I honestly think it'll be the biggest, the biggest event involving an Islander. There will ever be.
Yeah. Ever. What a spectacle.
Yeah, literally ever, man. And yeah, like
imagine all the little kids that watch it and just I could be that one.
Yeah, like kids. And like you said with the whole buses thing, like we've just watched The Rock's life unfold, and then him explaining it to us along in podcasts and that. And it's literally like it doesn't matter what your original plan is or was or dream. If you just keep checking along, something will come eventually. Exactly. If you just keep on the grind. Yeah. And that's well, back to the chat between The Rock and Roman. Far out, man. That's it's got me speechless basically. Like when you think about like how big of an event WrestleMania is, you know, it's the event that stops the wrestling world. Like everyone watches it every year.
Biggest sports entertainment. It's bigger than bigger than UFC 300.
Yeah.
Like it's that big.
And we've got 2 like Samoans, like 2 Samoans, Pacific Islanders, repping up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even me, I've been the biggest Rock fan my whole life.
Yeah.
And just seeing that makes me proud. You know, like he's still that guy. You know.
Yeah.
He's still that guy.
And with social media, social media has been good to us. Has been really good for us because we watched him grow up, but we only ever seen the wrestling persona, you know. And then now we get to see like what social media has brought to us with him and how much more relatable he is.
Biggest,
and how much more relatable he is to us to just that big star on TV.
Yeah,
hats off to him, man. Far out. That's hectic. That's crazy.
You think